Hello, everybody. My name is Olga with GEM Accounting and Tax. GEM Accounting and Tax is a CPA firm that works a lot with organizations in early childhood education. Today, we want to talk about the Taxpayer Bill of Rights. As a taxpayer, you do have some rights, and it's very important that you be aware of these rights, especially when you're dealing with the IRS. These rights cover a wide range of topics, including how you pay your taxes, how you file your tax return, how you can respond to a notice from the IRS, and if you can actually hire a representative or if you have an appeal process. These are all rights that are guaranteed to taxpayers, especially when they deal with the IRS. So let's break it down a little bit and go one by one on the taxpayer rights. The first one is to be informed. As a taxpayer, in my experience, most taxpayers want to be compliant with the IRS laws. So they have a right to know what to do to comply with the taxes. So again, you have the right to be informed. Number two, you have a right to quality services. This means that you have a right to prompt, courteous, and professional services or assistance from the IRS. Okay? Number three, never ever tip the IRS. And what I mean by this is pay no more than the amount you owe to the IRS. Don't leave a tip. It doesn't mean that you're more patriotic as a citizen, that you're paying more taxes to the government. Just pay what is due to the IRS. Number four, you have the right to challenge the agency's position and also the right to be heard. You can raise objections or and provide additional documentation in response to IRS actions. So remember, when you receive that notice, you might not agree with whatever the IRS has told you you owe. This is the point where you can either raise an objection or provide additional information to support your position. Number five, you have the right to appeal an IRS decision. This is the right, this goes hand in hand with the right to a fair and impartial administrative appeal. So anytime you get a decision and maybe it hasn't gone your way, don't lose heart. You have a right to appeal, and as a taxpayer, you should go for it. Finality, that is number six. Finality means that when an audit is complete, when the IRS has completed their examination, you have a right to know when this is so. Okay? Number seven, privacy. The right to expect that the IRS inquiry, examination, or enforcement will comply with the law and will be no more intrusive than necessary. Okay, so again, the IRS is there to do the investigations, but they do not have to go beyond their limitations of privacy. You also have a right to confidentiality. That's the eighth right. So the IRS must protect your data and only share it with other people or third parties if you authorize it. So you have a right to confidentiality. Number nine is retention and the right to representation. Every taxpayer has a right to engage an authorized representative to, to talk or advocate on their behalf to the IRS. There may be cases where you may not be able to afford such a representative. It's also a good idea to go to the low income tax clinics to hire a representative um, to take your position in speaking with the IRS. And lastly, number 10, you have a right to a fair and just tax system. I know most of you, everybody has an opinion on whether or not the tax system is just, but as a taxpayer, you have a right to fairness and a just tax system. So consider the facts and the circumstances and the law and understand if the underlying liability is a fair representation of what you need to pay. So, like I said, taxpayers have their rights. So, anytime you get a letter from the IRS, a call from the IRS, which is, you have your rights and you should stand for your rights. If it gets overwhelming, get a representative. If you feel that you can't afford it, go for the low income taxpayer clinics. They might be able to help you. So again, you have your rights, take advantage of them, and I think that's it. So again, this is Olga with Gem Accounting and Tax. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and thank you for listening.